To some shortcuts now, some of the events and utterances marking the week in public affairs. There was consternation across talkback radio this week when these little hatchbacks with their high-tech speed cameras were unveiled by Roads Minister David Borger. Shock jocks were, well, shocked. And some motorists were outraged at the thought that they might get caught exceeding the speed limit. The opposition accused the government of a cash grab.
This is a straight cash box grab, a rip-off by Christina Keneally, where she's going to hit motorists through the back pocket for very little positive outcome for those motorists and for New South Wales generally.
Critics said there was proof of this cash grab in the fact that an estimate of the amount of money the new mobile speed cameras will raise was in the budget. Minister Borger did his best to hose that down.
When you put a number in the budget papers, it becomes a target, doesn't it?
Well, numbers in budget papers are estimates. What I can say is that no one needs to be caught, no one needs to receive any fines in relation to speeding.
And the Minister also hosed down any ideas motorists might have that there's a tolerance of up to 4 or whatever kilometres per hour over the limit.
Well, motorists should know this, that if they speed by 1 kilometre over the speed limit, then they could be caught. And they should also know that there is no effective way of going 5 or 10 over the speed limit and thinking or imagining that they might not be caught. It would be very dangerous territory for a roads minister to encourage people to travel at 5 or 10 or 10% or 5% over the speed limit. So the only advice is stick to the speed limit and you won't be fined.
The awful, for the government, result of the Penrith by-election produced an interesting change of spin from the Premier. Up until this week, Christina Keneally had been insisting that the 25% swing against Labor was all this woman's fault. Karen Palazzano had to resign in disgrace after lying to both the Premier and the ICAC. The Premier had insisted that this is what had hurt Labor.
In this case, the former member did not act with that integrity that the electorate expects.
But this week, the sins of the former member were only part of the cause of the Penrith disaster.
The lessons of that by-election very much driven home to me that we as a government need, 1, to always act with the utmost of integrity, 2, to be delivering what the community needs and expects, whether it be in transport, in health and hospital systems, education or community safety. That is our absolute requirement as a government.
Then, this week's ICAC report had the Leader of the Opposition spinning that integrity was the big issue at Penrith.
What the people of Penrith voted for on the 19th of June was higher standards of government. What the people of New South Wales deserve is a government that is honest, a government that's ethical, a government that demonstrates accountability. And the real question out of this report today is whether or not Christina Keneally has got the message. On the day in which another of her colleagues is before the ICAC with a reference in relation to Joe Tripodi, has Christina Keneally got the message, or will she continue her don't ask, don't tell approach?
It was a bad week for Vinnies. The whole of the state board was sacked over a bullying scandal. When ABC News approached this shop manager for comment, she was determined to play it safe. But she didn't.
Are you aware that the whole of the board of St Vincent's was suspended today?
No.
They've been suspended. There have been some allegations of bullying. Did you know anything about that?
Can't say too much though. Not surprised. That's all I can say. I'm not surprised. I didn't know it had happened.
So you had a feeling that something like this might happen? Why is that?
I can't really say. I don't want to say anything that might, prejudice my job. Sorry.
Is it just the fact that there have been some rumours, or have you yourself been subject to some bullying?
I think everyone has.
In what way?
Abrasive language and domineering people, mostly men, at the top. That's all I can say. I don't want to say any more.
What sorts of things have they said to you?
That's interesting that that's happened.
So do you welcome the decision?
Yeah. That bullying shouldn't be allowed, should it?
What sorts of things have they said to you?
I can't say. I've got a customer. I better not say any more. Sorry.